We got most of our information about Dorit Kemsley and Kyle Richards' respective splits from the women themselves, and not their former partners Paul P.K. Kemsley and Mauricio Umansky, until the season 14 premiere of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, that is. During the episode, which aired November 19, the two husbands were able to sit down and offer some insight into the headlines that have been swirling since they both announced their separations. Mauricio, more specifically, asked PK the question many have been wondering: what happened? PK replied, "I got sober, I got clear, and I realized that we were just taking bites out of each other the whole fucking time, and I had a lot of resentment." Dorit isn't the most able to listen. She's not. PK alleged, "When we started off dating, we were like fucking Bonnie and Clyde. She was my shadow. We were together. I'd go out, she'd come and stylize the evening, and she'd socialize. And life got in the way, and then we had the babies and we moved." As Mauricio listened closely, PK continued, "She could say, 'Well, you were away.' And I could say, 'Well, I was working, trying to sustain the lifestyle that Dorit and I live, and also to sustain her ambition. From my perspective, I wanted to know how much of our problems were me, how much were her, and what can we change. What I realized was I can't recover unless we put some space between us." Don't miss out on the latest Bravo news. Drawing on his own split from Kyle, Mauricio offered PK some support. "I've been separated now nearly a year, and I've recently moved out. During this process, you're going to have hard days. You're going to have easier days. There's going to be days where you wake up and you're gonna just be miserable." The real estate professional explained, "I kind of learned how to enjoy the journey versus looking for a solution." Pete mentioned that Kyle had texted him to offer some support. "She sent a beautiful text," in his words. He also told Mauricio that he and his estranged wife were an inspiration to him based on how they'd handled themselves in their split. "It's different for me because my kids are younger," PK continued, noting that he and Dorit hadn't yet talked to Jagger, 10, and Phoenix, 8 about their situation. "We're not going to be talking to the kids. I'm not saying we know what we're doing because the truth is, it's a really personal thing. And no one knows our kids better than us. No one." Dorit shared the news of her breakup on the RHOBA Season 14 premiere, which was filmed around the time headlines broke about the split in May 2024. While Dorit and PK had previously said they were doing better than ever, a small moment about a week before filming began caused them to reevaluate where they stood. One thing led to another, and we sat down like two very mature adults who love and care about each other, and mutually decided that taking some space and separating is the best thing for us, Dorit explained. "We're taking it day by day, but we're separating." Kyle and Mauricio's separation predated Dorit and PK's, but not by long. The longtime loves decided to go their separate ways during the summer of 2023. Today, over a year after their initial separation, Kyle and Mauricio are still legally married, and neither party has filed for divorce. However, Mauricio did move out of their family home in Encino, a big change that Kyle touched on during the RHOBA Season 14 premiere. Yes, Mauricio and PK are still friends despite everything that's gone on between their wives. In fact, the men recently took a vacation to Miami together. The news that Dorit Kemsley and her husband, Paul P.K. Kemsley, have decided to split has sent shockwaves through Beverly Hills. With whispers and speculation flooding social circles, one of the most unexpected voices to question the decision is none other than Mauricio Umansky. The real estate mogul, who has long been a close friend to the Kemsleys, couldn't help but ask the question that's been on everyone's minds: what happened? Mauricio and PK have shared a friendship that has extended beyond the screen time of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, RHOBH. Their bond, solidified through lavish dinner parties, vacations, and plenty of business talk, seemed like a foundation built to withstand the often fickle world of Beverly Hills relationships. Equally, Dorit and Mauricio's wife, Kyle Richards, have had their fair share of ups and downs, but their connection always felt genuine. This closeness only makes the Kemsley separation that much harder for Mauricio to wrap his head around. Sources close to Mauricio say he was blindsided by the announcement, which came seemingly out of nowhere. While cracks in Dorit and PK's marriage have been speculated on RHOBH in the past, especially in relation to PK's financial woes and Dorit's struggle with PTSD following her 2021 home invasion, Mauricio believed the couple would always weather the storm. After all, that's all they did time and time again in the public eye: rebuild, rebrand, and reassure fans that they were stronger than ever. But the recent decision to part ways has made Mauricio wonder if there were more underlying issues that the Kemsleys kept hidden from even their closest confidants. When asked about the split during a recent gathering of friends, Mauricio reportedly shook his head in disbelief. "No one saw this coming," he shared, according to a guest present. "They were always together, always presenting themselves as a team. So what happened?" For Mauricio, who has seen his own marriage to Kyle Richards subjected to intense scrutiny and rumors, the breakdown of another high-profile marriage hits close to home. It forces a reflection on the unique pressures that fame, money, and the constant glare of the public eye put on a relationship. The Kemsleys, like the Umanskys, became household names through the Real Housewives franchise, and with that notoriety comes an undeniable toll. As Mauricio tried to make sense of Dorit and PK's split, fans have been quick to point out the red flags they claim were hiding in plain sight. Over the past season of RAOB8, viewers noticed a growing emotional distance between Dorit and PK. Their usual playful banter appeared strained, and moments that once seemed endearing felt awkwardly forced. Dorit's tearful confessionals about feeling isolated and overwhelmed were often met with dismissive responses from PK, sparking frustration among fans. The reality star also opened up about the lingering trauma from the violent home invasion she experienced while alone with her children. The incident had a lasting impact on Dorit's mental health, and while PK offered his support publicly, Mauricio reportedly wondered if PK truly understood the depth of his wife's struggles. "PK cares about Dorit, no doubt," Mauricio allegedly said in a private conversation. "But sometimes you have to ask, is love enough when someone is hurting that much?" Mauricio has always been candid about the challenges of balancing a public career with a private life. Running the agency, his luxury real estate company, has made him one of the most recognizable faces in the business world, and the fame has often placed a strain on his own marriage to Kyle. He believes that similar pressures may have played a role in Dorit and PK's separation. The Kemsleys have faced financial difficulties over the years, with headlines about lawsuits and unpaid debts becoming tabloid fodder. While Dorit continued to thrive with her Beverly Beach swimwear line and her fashion-focused persona, PK's reputation as a businessman took frequent hits. The couple often presented a united front, but Mauricio can't help but wonder if the pressure to maintain appearances eventually became too much. "They've been through so much," he reportedly said. "But sometimes, when the outside world is pulling you in a million directions, it becomes impossible to keep it together inside your own home." As someone who has been in the public eye for decades, Mauricio is no stranger to the rumors and speculation that come with reality TV fame. Over the past year, he and Kyle have been the subject of their own marital headlines, including whispers of separation and infidelity. However, both have repeatedly denied the claims and have remained focused on their family and individual careers. Mauricio's perspective on the Kemsleys' split stems from his belief in transparency and communication. He has always emphasized that relationships, especially those in the public eye, require constant work and unwavering trust. Watching Dorit and PK go their separate ways has been a sobering reminder of how fragile even the most glamorous relationships can be. "You never know what's happening behind closed doors," Mauricio told a friend, according to sources. "You see the Instagram posts, the red carpet photos, and you think everything's perfect. But real life is messy. Marriage is messy." While Mauricio has been open about his confusion and sadness over Dorit and PK's decision, Kyle Richards has been notably quieter on the subject. Those close to the RHOBA star say she has been supportive of Dorit behind the scenes, offering a shoulder to lean on as Dorit navigates this painful chapter.